I got the new Lethal Cosmetics and Avatar collection. I'm so excited to play with the products, show you what they're all about. Let's get started. Hello and welcome if you are new here. My name is Rachel, and if you're not new here, thank you so much for coming back. Today, I am going to do 2 looks using the new Avatar: The Last Airbender collection in collaboration with Lethal Cosmetics. They didn't send me everything in the collection, but what I do have, I will show you close-ups and swatches. Then I will show you look number 1, look number 2, and at the end, I will give you my initial thoughts. Now, this is not a review. I've only used the products twice. I have to continue using them to get my full thoughts, but I definitely am going to give you my first and second impressions, what I think about the collection, etc. Now, full disclosure, I know absolutely nothing about Avatar: The Last Airbender. I've never seen the show, the old show, the new show. I've never seen it. I don't know anything. I don't know any of the characters. So I'd love to know if you are a fan. Let me know your thoughts about this collection. Do you think they did it well? Do you think that the collection represents Avatar well? I would love to know because I have no frame of reference for that. So I do feel like maybe my opinion is good and different in a way that I'm literally just basing my thoughts on the products themselves and not the IP. So with that being said, the first thing that I did receive is the makeup bag. Adorable. Like, I don't know who this is, but he's adorable and he's soft. The whole thing is fluffy and soft. This is what the back looks like. And then on the inside, we have printed this guy in the inside, and it is like a faux silk material. The bag is large. I have all 4 palettes here. I can easily fit in here with plenty of room. So very much a large bag, but it is also kind of slim in terms of width. So that's really cute. I don't have pricing information for any of this, by the way, so I will keep you posted. If I do find that out while I'm editing, I can put it in the description box. And by the way, everything's in the description box. Everything that is on my face in both looks is in the description box. Then we have the makeup sponge, which is my cabbages. Now again, I don't really know what the relationship is with cabbages, but please let me know in the comments what it is. But this guy is like hugging a cabbage, adorable, like adorable. And the actual makeup sponge looks like this. Now, I will show you a close-up of what it looked like before I used it. It's just a tiny little bulbous cabbage-like sponge, but after using it, it does get quite big. It's very squishy. So this is what it looks like after it's been used. I've been enjoying it. I did use it in both looks. I give you my thoughts as we go on. Then I also received the highlighter. This is what the component, like the actual packaging, looks like. It's the pressed highlighter in White Lotus. It is described as a duochrome with a transparent base, gold to peach. It is a really beautiful, beautiful duochrome highlighter. This is what it looks like, and the component looks like this. It's really nice. I really like it. And you know what? I was so excited because in my new makeup releases, I was talking about this collection and I was saying, I would love to have the palettes, the highlighter, the makeup bag, and the sponge, and that's exactly what they sent me. So the last thing that they sent me were the palettes. These palettes are beautiful. So in the first look, I combined the water and earth palettes. So let's start with the water palette. This is what it looks like on the outside, and then on the inside, we have this mostly blue monochromatic color story. I'm no longer saying I'm not a blue girl, but I will say blue is my least favorite color to wear. But apart from that, just simply talking about how this is set up, I think it's set up really well. There are 3 different blue mattes that vary in depth. We have a brown matte to kind of change it up. We have a white matte. I always love having a white matte. All 4 of these shimmers are very different. I think it is laid out really, really well. Then we have the earth palette. I love greens. So this is what the outside looks like. Yeah, the presentation of packaging is really, really nice. On the inside, we have this, again, mostly green monochromatic color story. We have 4 different matte greens. I like that this matte green has a little bit of blue undertone, so it's different than these other 3 that are a little bit more of that yellow base. We have 4 different beautiful shimmers, and we have a dark brown matte here. Some of these shimmers are standard shimmers, some are duochromes, some are multichromes. All of the palettes have a variety of textures, which is great. And then the look that I'm wearing right now is look number 2, and I combined the fire and air palettes. So this is the fire palette, stunningly beautiful. And then if you know me, you know I'm very drawn to this color story, a warm neutral color story, very fiery, obviously. But we've got, again, 5 different mattes in this one. We have a matte black. This is the only palette that has a matte black. 4 different shimmers that are all different. Really beautiful. And then the last palette is the Air palette. So this is what it looks like on the outside. And then on the inside, we have this gorgeous, very interesting color story. I would call this a neutral palette with a couple of pops of color because I consider these to be neutrals. Like all of the mattes are neutrals. This beautiful like sky blue color. This is what I have in my inner corner. It's like an iridescent kind of white to blue shade. So beautiful. This one up here is a multichrome. Very interesting, different color story. I did receive this collection in PR, so thank you Lethal Cosmetics for sending it my way. The collection launches on Friday, May 31st at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. It will be available on lethalcosmetics.com as well as Camera Ready Cosmetics. Other things that are in the collection that I did not receive, there are a few sets of liquid eyeliners, which look really pretty. There is a lipstick. There's also a glitter gel. I would love to know your thoughts, whether you are thinking of picking this up, if you're thinking of skipping on it. Just let me know your thoughts. I know when I mentioned this in a past video, people were very excited. So let me know your thoughts, whatever they are, down in the comments. So now I'm going to send you off to look number 2, which combines the earth and water palettes. So like the blue and the green. I thought those would go together well. And then look number 2, which is what I'm wearing on my eyes. I combined the air and fire palettes. Spoiler alert, I love how all my looks came out. Good morning, everybody. We are gonna create a look. I think I'm gonna combine the green and blue palettes. So the green palette is the Earth palette. Absolutely beautiful. You guys know I love greens. This is calling to me. It is calling to me. Very excited. And then the blue palette is called Water. Oh my goodness. Also stunningly beautiful. I'm gonna go into the Water palette. I am gonna take a Fantasy Cosmetica E05. I'm gonna go into the shade Penguin Sledding, this really pretty like periwinkle, and put it into the crease. I'm sure I already said this, but these palettes swatched amazingly, like amazingly, the mattes and the shimmers. So I have high hopes. I'm just gonna press this into the crease. Really pigmented, really easy to use. Next, I'm gonna go into the Earth palette and I'm going to use the shade Dali. I could be pronouncing that wrong. Okay, I'm not sure, but I'm gonna put this in the outer corner and a little bit into the crease. Beautiful, pigmented, effortless to blend. Really good. I think I will take just a little bit of Wan Shi Tong from the Earth palette, this like deeper green, just in the very outer corner. That was a good choice. I like that. I'm gonna put the NYX glitter primer all over my lid. All of these shimmers are absolutely breathtaking. How am I supposed to decide which one to use? I think I'm gonna go back into the water palette and use Kuruk. I think it is a multi-chrome. It's like a purpley blue. Yep, it is. And it even has like a little bit of green. Oh my gosh, I can't wait. Get it on my eyes. Oh my goodness, how beautiful. Look at that. So I'm gonna go into the water palette. I wanna use the deep dark blue called Wolf Cove as a winged eyeliner. So what I did when I went off camera is I just put a thin line of a black liquid eyeliner just to create a base. I'm gonna go over that with the blue and then bring it out onto a wing. And it is giving me a little bit of fallout because it is so pigmented. So I'm just gonna spray the brush. Came out pretty good. I'm gonna do the other side. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Off camera, I put on obviously my face makeup and I did use the sponge. So it's very, very squishy and it got really big under the water, like under the water when I ran it under the faucet. So it's really good for like if you want to just quickly blend out your foundation because there's such a big surface area compared to like a beauty blender. But I do usually blend out my concealer with my sponge, and the tip of the sponge is not very precise for me to get in there, but I was able to kind of squeeze it to get in there. I'll probably more use this for just foundation rather than foundation and concealer, but it is very soft. So let's finish up the lower lash line. I'm gonna go back in with that dark blue called Wolf Cove, pick it up and spray it and just run it along the outer part of my lower lash line. Basically just connecting it to the wing as well. I'm gonna go into the Earth palette and pick up Dai Li and just blend that out. Then I'll take that first matte shade we used, Penguin Sledding, and just blend that out. For my inner corner, I'm going to take the water palette and go into Ice Dodging that matte white. Love having a matte white in a palette, and just put this in my inner corner. Very pigmented. And in my waterline, I'm going to put ColourPop's Prance. My face is feeling a little dry, so I am gonna spray like the outer perimeter of my face with the new Urban Decay All Nighter Dewy Setting Spray before I go in with the highlighter. So let's try out the highlighter. This is the White Lotus Pressed Highlighter. It looks so beautiful. I can't wait. Ooh, pretty. Let me back up. Can you see that? Stunning. I did watch their reveal video on YouTube, which of course I will link down below. And I forget exactly what they said. This is a shifting highlighter, like what colors it shifts to. But I see like pink. Very beautiful. Very smooth. It's got a transparent base, which is nice. So I don't like see a stripe on my face. Ooh, that is pretty, but it is sparkly. So just be aware of that. If you don't like a sparkly highlighter, you wouldn't like this. But I like me a sparkly highlighter, so beautiful. All right, and this is the finished look number 1. What do you think? I mean, this shimmer on the lid is beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah, I mean, also all of the mattes performed great. And I was expecting that based on the swatches. Like I've already said probably 1,000 times now, the swatches were so good. Like so good. So I like it. I like it. So yeah, I mean, my first impression of these palettes is they seem like really good quality so far. Of course, I will continue using them. Now I'm gonna send you off to the next look where I'm gonna use the other 2 palettes to create a look. All right, so we are gonna do a second look with the 2 remaining palettes. We have the Fire and we have the Air palettes. Spoiler alert, these 2 are my favorites, like just in terms of color story. So this is Air, which is like a neutral palette in my opinion with a pop of blue. Really stunning. And then this one, oh, if you know me, you know. If you know me, you know. You know? Super warm neutrals. I'm so pumped. I'm so pumped. Okay, so I've already primed my eyes. I'm gonna go into the Air palette. I'm gonna use this yellow shade called Egg Custard Tart and put this through my crease. That is extremely pigmented. Look at that. Wow. I'm using a very fluffy brush. Beautiful. I want to go into the Fire palette and use the shade Ember Island, which is just like a warm brown, and put this a little lower in the crease. Still in the Fire palette, I'm gonna go in with the shade Fire Sages, which looks almost like a burgundy, and just put this in the outer corner. It's like, how do I even choose a shimmer? They're all so beautiful. I am gonna put NYX glitter primer all over my lid. I wanna go in with this shade called Sozin's Comet. I'm probably saying that wrong, but this is just like a really pretty yellow gold. Just place that all over. Oh my goodness, look at that. That is unbelievable. I'm back. Let's finish up the eyes. I actually want to go into the Air palette, into the shade Glider, which is just like a neutral brown. And I'm going to push that up against my lower lash line. In the Air palette, I'm going to take the shade Sky Bison, which is just like a peachy color, and blend that out. I'm gonna blend it out with this scrumptious yellow called Egg Custard Tart. For my inner corner, still in the Air palette, I'm gonna use Moon Peach. It looks so pretty, almost like a, oh my God, I don't even know, like a warm champagne color, and it's a little more toppery. And it might have actually like a blue iridescence to it. I don't know, I wanna use it. I think I'm gonna spray it because it is a little on the piecey side. Wow, that's so pretty. Yeah, it definitely has blue in there. It's so bright. And for my waterline, I'm gonna use one of the ColourPop multi-chrome liners. This is in the shade Movie Star. And here is the finished look number 2. What do you think? Like I said, I love warm neutrals, so this like fiery look to me just screams summer. Like it really, really does. So I absolutely love it. So let me give you just my initial impressions on this collection. Like I said, I really have to continue using these products more than twice to get full thoughts. The palettes will end up in a palette ranking in the future. The palettes, the shades that I used, how they swatched are so, so beautiful. I am so looking forward to continuing to play with these. I'm so excited that I have them in my collection. I'm thrilled at the quality of these so far. The mattes swatched, very pigmented. They do have a little bit more of a kick up in the pan, but again, I think that's why they're so pigmented. They're not super hard pressed. And I have used Lethal Cosmetics in the past. I have the Teresa is Lethal palette, and I have the Midnight Serenade palette, which the Midnight Serenade palette came in very high up in one of my monthly rankings. Actually, I think it came in number 1. Really, and I said in that video, mostly for the color story. Like I love the color story of that palette, but I wasn't crazy about the formula. I thought the mattes were not as pigmented as I personally like. And I felt like the shimmers were good, but they weren't like blowing me away. But I will tell you right now, like based on the ones that I've used and the swatches, I definitely think the formula is stepped up in this. Now, I have no evidence that it's a different formula. I haven't been told that, but I can just tell from my usage so far that the mattes are way more pigmented in this, and the shimmers are so pretty, like very shiny. There are different textures of shimmers in here. There's some multi-chromes, there are some duochromes, there are some just straight up shimmers, which I personally like having a variety of different shimmer textures, different formulas. Here's the blue one. You're like, yeah, if you like blue, this is beautiful. I think it's laid out great. There's 3 different blue mattes that vary in depth. You have a matte white, which I always love. You have a brown, which is something that can pull it in a different direction. All of the shimmers in this are very different. The green palette is stunning. Now, do I think these 2 green mattes are pretty close? Yeah, I do. Maybe one of them could be slightly different, but again, it's a monochromatic green palette that has a couple of pops of brown. And then the Air palette, I think, is so pretty. Very interesting, very different. if you like neutrals, but you want a pop of color, we've got this blue. We've got this multi-chrome up here, which looks like it goes like purple to brown, very different. I mean, I think these palettes are really, really good. Really good. And this is coming from someone who has no idea about the collaborator like Avatar, The Last Airbender, but I would love to know, if you are a fan of the show, what you think about these. Like, do you think they fit the vibe? I would love to know. The highlighter is beautiful. The highlighter is absolutely beautiful. This gorgeous transparent base. Now, I watched their YouTube video. I talked about in the last look that they said in their YouTube video exactly what this is. So they said it's a dual chrome highlighter with a transparent base that shifts from gold to peach. So I can definitely see that. Although I do see like pink, but I guess peach is a form of pink, right? So it's beautiful, and it does have that transparent base, but I will say there is a little bit of a sparkle to it. So if you don't like sparkles, maybe this isn't for you, but I like a sparkly highlighter. The sponge I used again today. My thoughts haven't changed. It's really, really squishy, really soft, but it's very bulbous and very big. So it's great for blending out foundation in a really quick manner. But for my concealer, it's not my favorite, but that's fine. Just wanted to let you know about that. The makeup bag is freaking adorable. Like, I don't know who this is, but adorable. Absolutely adorable. Very fuzzy, very soft. On the inside, we have whoever this is printed on the inside. It fits, like I can fit all 4 of the palettes in here very easily. The highlighter and the sponge very easily. So it's quite large. It's bigger than my face, as you can see. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say. I would love to know your thoughts down in the comments. Are you looking forward to picking this up? Are you skipping on it? Are you eyeing it? Let me know your thoughts, because I love hearing from you. And if you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. That helps me out a lot when you do that. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, I would love it if you would consider subscribing before you leave. I do upload videos weekly, and I'd love to see you back on my channel again. I want to thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.